Hello. Here we go again. Okay. I I realize I should probably get some kind of recording done because I just kind of started to go and then I was like, oh wait, I'm trying to do the YouTube thing. So I took a quick little pause to do an update to start episode 2, I guess. Still gonna do the same thing. I'll have a couple updates, but we're gonna start here, and it's gonna be a fairly large jump from what I had done last time. So we'll go and just kind of look over this first. Just a little fountain thing that I added. I think it's kind of nice, just a nice way to kind of break up this path over here. And then started to put in some more foliage around everything over here. Started adding the path stuff. And then going down this way, this is where I just kind of started to just go. And again, sketching stuff first. So when we look at these buildings over here, they're clearly not done. But this over here, I wanted there to be a nice little coffee shop right at the front of the park. So we've got this awesome brand in game, and the lighting's a little weird right now. Let's go like an hour later and see if that helps. One more hour. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So Street Fox Coffee is the is the in-game coffee brand, and so I just want to put a nice, simple little a little coffee shop here. The thought is that this would be one of the older buildings that got repurposed into a coffee shop. It's supposed to mirror the it's a nice combination of the color scheme of both Street Fox Coffee itself and the carousel. So I'm just kind of trying to tie in that the oranges and reds and everything kind of all right in here. And then we started to add stuff like this, little carts. I'm gonna try to start getting better at putting links to things that I got from the Steam Workshop, from Theme Maker's Toolkit. These are awesome, and I'm not gonna remember anyone's name offhand. But these carts are really awesome, and also I realized I forgot to mention last time too about these vending machines. These ones actually I do believe are from Idro, just because I know their name because Idro makes a ton of stuff on Theme Maker's Toolkit. So, but anyway, so this coffee shop. It's really fun. I added an interior into it as well, and then yeah, but then also kind of coming out here is this really nice little patio, and I love this. So hopefully this will kind of get you guys to see more of the direction that this park's going to end up taking. This river is like one of the main parts of the park, and I really want to play off of it as much as I can everywhere. So Jesus. So I can definitely, if this were real life, I could absolutely see myself just sitting here enjoying a cup of coffee or whatever, like right at the start of the day. Actually, let's see what it would look like if you got here like right away in the morning. Oh, that's PM. Hello. Let's go even earlier. Let's go like, yeah. It's just kind of having a cup of coffee, just like being able to look over. I don't know. I think it looks really, really cool. Another flat added back there. So yeah, so this is kind of, oh Jesus, this camera, oh my god, settle, Jesus. So looking at it from the back side, nice little retaining wall, so that way if you are over here on the right, just want to make sure that no matter kind of where you are, that everything looks kind of the way it should. And it's a tiny little patio, but I think it's pretty nice. So yeah, so that's the coffee shop. I like it. I think it's cool. I'm gonna go back to Hopefully you're going to see it at nighttime really quick. I did start doing some night lighting around. Lighting is it's going to take some time to get lighting good to go. So, anyways, moving on. So coming on this trail right here, basically what I want to do is everything from bridge to bridge. So this whole span I kind of want to just kind of keep in this generic kind of theme. So there's going to be a sort of a main street, not really, just like a strip of shops. Inspiration I'm pulling for this is the entrance from Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. Kind of the same shape. What I like is that it follows a diagonal path, but the buildings they're not parallel to it, so they keep kind of jutting out, and it gives you this nice little sight line coming down of all the different buildings everywhere. And then continuing over here, there's this really nice visual of that flat ride back there. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I don't know if the colors are going to stay the same, but I do think it looks really nice. And I did put a vista point in here, so are these guys going to do it? Nope, they don't care. Oh, they do care. Yeah, where people actually come and look at the ride, and and do that. So I think it's it's a nice little touch that Frontier added to this game, to add that sense of realism of like people would actually stop and look at that because it looks really cool from right here. So anyway, so moving on. Really the only other thing that I want to show right now, again, so you can see the sketch of the layouts of these buildings. I did go back through and change the coaster. Remember I was talking about it last time. I did not like how it started. If you remember, it was this really large turnaround thing here. So I changed it. I ended up, the final helix I pulled in tighter so it crosses underneath the chain lift a little bit closer there, which I think is fine. I think it's fine. Again, ignore supports, whatever. But now it just, the turnaround, this is much, much better. It's just a quick drop right into it, where, it's still just a turnaround to get to the chain lift, but since the water's right here, why not have a quick little element? So I changed that, and then I also did come back through and change this final flat spin, and it looks so much better. It's still not great, but I'm much happier with how it looks now, and it rides a whole lot better. So then the last little thing kind of over here is I made sure I wanted to start thinking about backstage stuff because that's a very real part of parks. So there's going to be a backstage gate right here, a vehicle access one right here, and then also just a walking gate right here to get behind these shops. It is pretty tight, so they kind of did what they would have to do. So it's only it's a one-lane little street, but that does happen. That's fine. There's like this little just dugout trench, and it goes right under. Again, this whole area right here, it looks like the clearance is awful, but there actually isn't. There's plenty of clearance. So you can see there we go. That's better. There's plenty of clearance here. It definitely give you a nice foot chopper, but totally fine. And then made sure to add a clearance gate for when vehicles come through. But I believe let me double check, but I'm pretty sure I left it big enough to fit a garbage truck in here still. If for some reason they had to have a garbage truck come through here. I mean, barely, barely. But yeah, it would work. So, yeah. All right. So again, sorry, I just kind of forgot to give an update, but that's where we are now. So yeah. So I'll kind of keep going here again and come back to you in a little bit. All right. So I say that every time. Okay. Here we go. Next update. You could probably see something poking out back there behind the fountain. I kind of want to not start to, but I want to make sure that I know where rides are going to go, to kind of plan around that. And I think putting in big stuff first is kind of a good idea. So there's this floorless coaster back here. This is actually the third or fourth different layout that I've done for this coaster. Originally, I had it on this side of the river. but uh, it was too small and didn't know what it wanted to be, and it was just bad. So I was talking to some of the guys who I'm in a Discord server with for a project that I'm hoping is going to come to YouTube. There might be more on that later. But we were talking about it, kind of sharing some things back and forth, and a couple of them have mentioned that it didn't look right. It didn't look like a B&M. It looked scrunched. It looked off. So after thinking about it for a little while, I took their advice and scrapped it and started to build it over on the other side of the river to kind of give myself a little more room. And now I'm much happier with this layout. It's very B&M. It's it's in the right style. It's in the right era. Shaping is right. The biggest problem with this coaster is this 0G roll right here. The 0G roll in the game is not heartlined. So, also with some of these guys from the server, they helped me kind of get through the shaping this heartline a little bit better, because trying to put heartline into these coasters in this game is just awful. So that's where it kind of sits right now. I'm gonna leave it. It's pretty good. For the most part, the shaping, it's not perfect. I'm well aware that it's not the best shaping that it could be, but even getting it to this just was awful. So we're gonna leave it alone for right now. But yeah, I think it's a fun little B&M floorless. I don't know what it's called yet. I don't know. So then coming over here, I don't know how I exactly want the pathing of this park to work out. I know that I do want it to be kind of random and not have any solid kind of layout. Like, I want it to be random. So with that in mind, we've kind of got this entrance stuff over here, and then there's a bridge over on the right side, there's a bridge over on the left side, but then that leads right back to another kind of central plaza, and this is the next little area that we've been working on. And I'll get back over there in just a second. But finished out the shape of this one, which was really just kind of copying some pieces around. Added in this small little food service area. And the vending machines are more just there, so that way there can be an actual place for people to get food. But I want to put in like ice chests and coolers to where it would actually be, it wouldn't be self-serve. It would actually be, you would walk up to a counter and there would be a staff member there to help serve your food. But anyway, it's just a small little thing. And then there's this train station right here. This is I can't remember where the image came from, but I did base this off of an actual classic train station, the Ravinia Railroad Company, and it's here because history-wise, right across from this pavilion, which in my head is just kind of a general open. Like banquet hall almost. You can kind of like rent it out or do whatever, or just like a meeting. I don't know, just a big open room. And then right across from that would be this train station, which would be how you could get back to the amphitheater. I don't know how crazy I want to get with this yet, but the idea, at least in modern times, is that this is now just a continuous and contained circuit within the park, but back in the day, very plausibly could have been that this would have connected to the outside world and that there would be a stop here, as well as a stop over by the amphitheater. So it's been zhuzhed up to have some modern stuff to it. So there's only the one side that has benches, because this would be just kind of where you can hang out. But the other side has been converted into a queue line. So instead of just having this random open waiting area, there is actually a flow of queue. And I think this turned out pretty nice. This is more of the level of detail that I'm beginning things to. This still is not done. I need to put a lot more stuff on the platform itself. And then the building probably needs one more pass of detail with light fixtures and maybe some signs, and probably gonna add some stuff to the roof trim. But yeah, this is more the level that we're going to be going for in this park. I would probably call this like 85% of the way there. And there's also this first little Easter egg here in the park. It is a train station, so I kind of figured let's throw a couple nods to a lot of the other series that have either really gotten me into this or that I really enjoy, that I think are awesome. So first and foremost, we've got No Name Landia, because if for some reason you haven't watched Planet Bro Coaster, it's a couple years old now, but you need to go watch that series because it's just awesome. And then there's another series right now called Rose Lake Park that a whole bunch of guys are doing, and that's great. Jubilee Gardens, another fantastic one that I wish would kind of keep going. There's a project going on called Penn Island right now, Peony Park, and then there's 5 more on the other side. So we've got Diamond Heights, World of Steve. I'm sorry, S-Dan, but your park name's a little bit long, so you needed an extra sign. So there's Wilderness Springs from S-Dan Wolf, and then we've got Pinewood Hills and Silverwood. So that's where the park stands for right now. And yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do another little pass, and then that'll be it for this one. And here's where I think we're going to go ahead and call it for this round. I went ahead and more or less finished up this pavilion thing here in the center. The idea for this now is that the inside isn't going to be really functional anymore, except for like maybe group events or something like that. But they did want to make sure that there was still a place to kind of gather over here. So there's this little picnic area back here now. Just a bunch of tables and chairs. Not chairs, just a bunch of picnic tables. That's the one. Just going to set up back here. It's a nice little place to kind of escape, have it be quiet. You can sit over here and you can see the carousel real nice from over here. You can't see the river too much, so I don't know, I might change that a little bit, but you certainly be able to hear it from back here, so maybe we'll leave it alone. This front here, this lattice window, this is directly pulled from the building at Ravinia. The building in real life is significantly larger than this, but I did want to keep this kind of small, so this beautiful font up here, this Art Deco font, I really enjoyed this. This is a font made by Masked Bandit, so thank you for that. I think it fits in nice, and just kind of did a little copy paste to the other side. So obviously this side isn't done up yet, but one thing I really liked about the building in real life was that on pretty much all of these towers, there's a bunch of overgrowth and vines on them, and I think that's a nice touch to these. So I kind of played around with a couple different styles of how I want to do it. I'll probably add some more to it later on, but that's where it sits for right now. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing was I started to put this queue structure together. Wow, look at that. Isn't that just amazing? So there we go. That's what we're going to go ahead and call it an episode. Ravinia, I guess, well, with the name on the building, that's kind of official or something. I don't know. So there we go. There's episode 2. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.